I know I said I'll be taking a look at Texas Danny today, but I came across something that was so good I simply had to have a look at it. Someone actually explaining exactly what the Mandela Effect is. And I don't mean the definition I use, I mean the shifting realities definition. Get ready for an education. Sort of. Maybe. Probably not. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a quick word from me about today's sponsor, Star Trek Fleet Command. Star Trek Fleet Command is a free-to-play 4x MMO game with an open world set in the ever-expanding Star Trek universe. You can recruit legendary characters such as Captain Kirk and Spock to crew iconic ships such as the Enterprise. From over 50 years of Star Trek stories, you can send them on missions of exploration to expand your territory. Also, the incorporation of advanced Star Trek technology, like transporters and replicators, adds depth to the gameplay, providing strategic options that align with the franchise's spirit of exploration and innovation. You can engage players around the world in battles, testing your strategic ability, negotiate alliances for greater gain, and harvest the galaxy's resources as you upgrade your fleet of starships. Plus, the game's stunning graphics give you a visually immersive experience, bringing the virtual world to life with intricate detail and breathtaking space-based visuals. Now personally, I'm a massive next generation fan, so I'm on a mission to make sure I can get as many next gen characters as I can, and then I can finally get the Enterprise D. Try the game yourself and immerse yourself in the world of Star Trek. Click the link in the description or use my QR code which you can scan here. Use the code Warp Speed and you can get 10 epic shards of Captain Kirk, who provides amazing defense stats and strong buffs for any ship he is on. Right, back to today's video, which sees a channel called Open to Reality Original interview all things Mandela Effect expert Brian Stavely. And he starts by asking exactly what the Mandela Effect is. Of course, here in the real world, we know that it's a mass misremembering. For example, most people will remember the famous line in Star Wars as, "Luke, I am your father." When in actual fact, it was, "No, I am your father." Brian, though, thinks that there's a lot more going on, and for the first time, we're going to get a full explanation. Here we go.
Mandela Effect is basically shifts in this reality where physical matter and other things, physical matter we'll start with, where physical matter is actually changed and retroactively all the way in the past. So when people are presented with the Mandela Effect, say by a website or something, it certainly appears like they're trying to tell you about the Mandela Effect, but it's just gatekeeping us. What they're doing is they've successfully minimalized us to make people think it's all about movie quotes and brand changes and all that. While many of those are legitimate Mandela Effects, it goes much deeper.
So Brian is claiming here that the explanation for the Mandela Effect, which let's remember is nothing more than a mass misremembering, is actually part of his definition for the effect. Interesting.
Which we'll get into later. But so let's just say something, for instance, like something most people would know, stovetop stuffing, okay? Stovetop stuffing has now never existed in this reality. It's a Mandela Effect. In this reality, it's always been craft. Okay, so anybody that's watching this, if you remember stovetop stuffing, what I'm telling you is this is not a brand change. I'm telling you, even if you had a box that's been in your basement for 20 years, if you go look at it now, it's going to be craft, not Stouffer's.
Yes, because it has never been Stouffer's. Stouffer's is a brand and it's involved with frozen foods owned by Nestle. Now I suspect the Mandela Effect is a thing for this one because of the alliteration. It rolls off the tongue. And when you were young, you were probably surrounded by frozen foods made by Stouffer's. And you've just misremembered that it was also the stuffing. Best one to sort that out and stop it from ever happening is to use Paxo sage and onion stuffing, the absolute goat of stuffings.
Also with Mandela Effects, what will happen is when people want to say that this isn't happening, they will always say the same thing to start with. They'll say, well, companies and logos and brands can change names, Brian. Absolutely. I mean, that happens all the time. Of course they can. But the stuff that I present are not company logos and brand changes. And if they are, The people that say this isn't real would simply be able to come and show us, hey, this is when Stouffer's sold the craft in 1989. This isn't a Mandela effect. But the Mandela effect goes retroactively all the way into the past. It includes video coverage, everything.
That's right. According to Brian, when this change was made from Stouffer's to craft, every single box changed, every single advert changed, every single picture changed throughout history, with no exceptions.
So another big one, like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He used to come through the door every day and sing, "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor." That's not what he says now, never has in this reality. Now, some people watching this, if you haven't heard this, you're going to be like, what do you mean? He always sang, "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood." I sang it myself. There's endless parodies of it. Everybody knows that's what it is. You should go check that footage. And it doesn't matter how old it is. It's not about new episodes uploaded online where people can manipulate it online. If you have VHS tapes of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which I assure you some people would have, just check them for me. He's going to come through the door and say, "It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood."
Really? One word? So instead of thinking, wait, I may have misremembered one word from a show that finished 22 years ago, you think that it's changed and every example of it in history has also changed as well. Seems totally reasonable.
Right. So it's retroactive changes to reality is basically what it is. And when it happens, official versions of just about almost every official version of something will change. Like, let's just say I give you a song change. Like, here's one. Jewel, Who Will Save Your Soul? Who will save your soul? Many people familiar with that. If you listen to that now, she's going to tell you, who will save your souls? Plural.
I'm sorry. What is the point in reality changing for the sake of one flipping letter? Why, Brian? Why?
Even though the title's still soul, singular, the actual lyrics coming out of her mouth have changed on the official album, the official video. If you have the official album, pop it in. But the residue, what we call residue of the Mandela Effect, physical evidence left over. One example would be the parodies, the cover songs. Go and listen to everybody doing cover songs of Jewel. Everybody says, "Who will save your soul?" Nobody's singing souls.
Now, I did look at this despite never hearing this song before. If she wrote it and she sung it, she can sing it how she wants. That S though in the official music video is very, very subtle.
Now, eventually in a few years they will, because that's the current reality. Yeah, always been that way. So anything that I tell you is a Mandela effect, you're still going to want to think, okay, well, it changed at a certain time and you'll never find evidence of that. No, it's always been this way.
Yes, because you misremembered. That is all that's going on here, Brian.
Just like you talked about the spelling of turmeric. This is a whole ton of spelling changes. One of the biggest ones is dilemma. So dilemma for so many people was Dilemna. Now, if you're not familiar with this, anybody that's listening, okay, dilemma now in this reality has always been spelled Dilemma, no silent N. Yet millions of people around the world not only are supposedly misremembering the same word, spelling it wrong, they're also inserting a silent N in a word where it doesn't belong at all. And not only that, people have anchor memories around this. Like, how can you debunk people's anchor memories and say that this isn't something happening? So many people remember intentionally mispronouncing the word dilemma as dilemna so they would know how to spell it in school.
Now, my theory on this one is how our brains read words quickly. Now, take a look at this. You can read that, right? Because the brain is not looking at every single letter in the word, mainly the first and last letters. I postulate that as you were growing up and you were reading a lot of text in books and you were reading a lot of books yourselves as a child or a young adult, every time you read the word dilemma, you were interpreting that second M as an N. I mean, they look similar, right? Who knows? The point is that word dilemma has been spelt that way for hundreds and hundreds of years. What am I saying? The whole history of that word has changed for Brian, hasn't it? I just can't win. I wonder what Brian thinks about people like me who doesn't believe what he believes regarding the Mandela effect.
I would claim that they haven't done any research into it, but not only that, I'd go right at them. And what I would claim is not only is it not a psyop, you're highly affected. And I could roll over anybody with 100 changes easily. Now, they could come out at the end of it and still say, oh, well, this isn't real, and I was misremembering all these things. But they look ridiculous. To say that this isn't happening,
let's have a look at this properly and see who looks more ridiculous. The people who think that the Mandela Effect is a term for a large amount of people misremembering a small detail, or the people that think that the Mandela Effect is the universe changing for no reason that they can tell us whatsoever. I'll let the audience decide on that one.
every single person in the world is Mandela affected. And you know why? Because the Mandela effect is just a crappy freaking term for how this reality operates. And we all live in this reality, and the reality is in flux. We're all experiencing it. And if people are honest with themselves, they'll know it's not a psyop. They're affected by so many changes. And we also have incremental changes, which I'm sure we'll get to. But when we see incremental changes in front of us, that also shows us that there's actually more than two possibilities, 3 instances of this reality, 4 instances of this reality.
Something is dawning on me as we go through this video today. Brian has wasted years of his life looking into this. He's gone in deep with it. So I want to finish today's video with a plea to Brian. Stop. Just stop. Find another hobby. Spend time with your family. Do something else instead. Because you are devoting time to something that just doesn't really matter. I mean, who does it affect, really? I'm sorry, Brian, but you're devoting time to something which is just plainly wrong. And you need to snap out of it. Well, there we go. What a somber end to the video that was. Don't worry though, I'll cheer you up on Friday with another Flat Earth classic. So, all that's left for me to say is that we are all done and dusted for another video, another Tinfoil Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining, it truly is appreciated. A reminder that December the 11th, that Monday, will be the start of the 500k celebration week where we have a Flat Earth Friday every single day. Of course, if you liked today's video, please do subscribe and hit the thumbs up button too, it'd be truly appreciated. Just enough time for another word from me about today's sponsor, Star Trek Fleet Command. Remember to try the game yourself and immerse yourself in the world of Star Trek. Click the link in the description or click my QR code on screen now. I've been Simon Dan, have yourselves a cracking week, and I'll see you on Friday where we take a look at a flat earther who's going to explain why you can't see Polaris in the south. Should be interesting. See you then.